You guys set up the splines.
You just said you remember setting up the splines.
I remember people setting up the splines. I also remember accidentally deleting the spline sometimes.
Oh, that's good.
That's
That must have made Brian happy.
Maybe not.
Brian is, of course, Brian Hastings,
Yes,
who did a lot of the hero and ship programming in Ratchet 1, and so kind of inherited continuing to do hero and ship programming all the way up through this game.
Oh yes, forever and ever, world without end.
So you're not even using the plasma coil.
I will, I just don't have it on my quick select.
Okay, now I remember this level, because I remember those little guys. And those guys do die super fast.
I forget whose level this was. For some reason... No, I just can't remember.
No, I can't remember either.
I feel like it was...
Maybe Carl? Because those guys were Carl's guys. Carl programmed those dudes.
The rocket launcher, or the...
Yeah, the rocket launcher dudes.
I like that, the thing where the things come out of the sky and there's little reticles on the ground. That's a cool attack. I use that all the time nowadays. Alright, plasma coil.
Put it on the quick select. Come on, man.
Put it on the quick select. Alright, I'll go through and do menu roulette again.
I mean, the alternative is, going to the start menu every single time you want to put on the plasma coil. Replace the hyper shot. That doesn't need to be there.
Well, unless we run into a dynamo challenge. We don't need the Tira guys for sure. Alright. Oh yeah, I have the box breaker. I don't need to break anything. I can just make tons of money this way. The breakables on this level are worth a ton of money. Whoa.
Oh, you're getting murderized here.
That's okay. It's just more experience, man. More experience.
Does the I know there was a system in place that if you die and come back, the enemies you already killed don't give you max experience, I think, right?
It was only if you finished their segment.
Oh, okay.
So if you finished the segment that the enemy was in, then they wouldn't give you full. But
no, I thought there was a system that if they had ever previously died, they didn't give you full again.
Huh. It's possible. I mean, Gavin did all that. It was a huge black box.
Because it's very easy to break the system if you know where the checkpoints are. To just die before every checkpoint and then come back and do it again.
From the design perspective, we never really had a problem with that. I mean, I know we discussed sort of incentivizing jumping into water and stuff, but I remember that not being a huge concern. But I might be wrong. I mean, I never am, but I might be.
Oh, wow. Confidence.
When have I ever been wrong, Tom? Just name one time.
I can't. You're right.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
It hasn't happened, that's why.
I'm really sad that effect doesn't look like it used to. Because
Which one?
the green beams that guy shoots, or the green effects that guy shoots out, they used to look really cool, but they have lost their shape in the HD collection, which is unfortunate.
It's just different. That's all, right?
It's different, yeah. It's unfortunately different.
Wait, is that critical path? Oh, it is. We hardly ever do that sort of thing. Is that a hypnoguise thing?
No, those are dudes. Dudes that you can murder.
There's a platinum bolt over there. Alright. Giant waste. But yeah, I used to level up my my stuff on this one.
And now here you are again, leveling up your stuff.
Yep.
So one thing that I remember when we were first talking at the HD collection, we were talking about how the alpha was different, and we only realized after when we were rewatching the video that hollow shield was a perfect example, that we can show you how the alpha is different, how you can see the edges of the hollow shield.
So you notice that they're in the original one, the hollow shield it looked like a circle.
Right, because we had some textures that were simply the only purpose those textures had was to provide alpha, which was to make some parts of the texture invisible. And so we would take the edges of all those textures and make them invisible so it just looked like an oval.
Correct.
But the alpha's not working properly, and so we're not making those edges invisible properly anymore. And so that's why they look like squares. Which is also, unfortunately different.
Unfortunately different. Okay. I thought we gave you back all your ammo when you died. I guess not.
Apparently not.
Oh, yes!
Oh, look at that frame rate. Whoever did the frame rate on this level was not good.
But Tony, I always did the frame rate.
Oh.
What are you trying to say?
Huh. Isn't that weird?
I didn't do anything wrong.
So, okay. Let's say you're doing frame rate.
All right.
And somebody comes to this area and drops down the box breaker, breaks everything, shower of bolts, and says, "Mike, fix it." What do you possibly say to that? Because you look at that and you're like, it can't be fixed. Place less stuff and it will fix. Like, what do you possibly say to that when somebody expects you to fix that without actually removing stuff?
Well, we always could remove something. That was what the trick was. But like most of the time, we never had that problem with the box breaker and all that. But let's see. So my philosophy was if it's a optional gadget that you're using that breaks the frame rate, who cares, right? And
that's a good attitude.
If it breaks the frame rate while you're getting a reward, that makes the reward feel better.
Does it really?
Yeah, it totally does. Someone in one of the comments said that on a previous video, and I agree. But let's assume that all of that is not true, and that you...
let's assume frame drops are undesirable.
Yes, in every case, let's just assume. And so we had a couple things to protect against that, and I can't tell whether those things just weren't working in this case, or if it's the HD collection sort of introduced that. I have no idea. See, again, I can shirk my bugs just as easily as you can. But what we would do is two things. So we would try to get it in frame, not counting Ratchet's weapon effects and enemy destruction effects and environment destruction, right? So we would get it all in frame without that. And then there was a whole bunch of padding that Roberto left in the camera. And it just basically was a for loop that just ran for a certain number of times every frame in order to, reserve that memory,
right,
or frame rate, right? And we counted on it so that when we actually compiled it and put it on a disc, we would take out that extra piece and then it would be in frame all the time, right?
Right.
So that was one of the things we did. Another thing we did was there's a system in there to make sure that it doesn't generate a shit ton of bolts like that and break the game. So, that also might not be working in this case. But then if all of that, isn't what we can do to fix it, then it's really just cutting stuff out of the scene. It's going through every art object that's in the scene and seeing how many polys it has, and then looking at it in Maya and making sure that we can't make it any smaller than it already is. Like, it's just, there was a lot of things that could be removed that we would when we finally came down to it.
Right.
Like that one shrub that was 1,000 polys and repeated 300 times in the environment, right? You can almost always cut stuff, just like you were saying with memory last episode. You're right, though. I am having memory or weapon ammo issues.
I don't think that's working on that dude.
I thought it did damage to him while it was sitting there, but I guess not. Is my problem that I'm not using the plasma whip, Tony?
I mean, that would definitely help against the little guys. I think the problem is that you look at that beautiful frame rate. I think the problem is that you're getting hit with a lot of projectiles.
I see. So if I took less damage...
If you were better at this game, you would definitely be doing better
all right,
in this game.
Tony, Given that you are actually in the room
All
with
right.
me now,
Excellent.
it's time for you to play. Ha!
What happened to my controller? I can't. There we go. No, wait. How do I...
What? Press the start button?
I'm hitting the start button. Look. Pressing it.
I don't know what's wrong with you. It's triangle.
It's triangle.
Yeah. You probably want to change your camera.
No, camera's fine.
You want to jump off the edge so you don't inherit my bad health and then...
Oh, I'm definitely gonna... I'm gonna see what I can do with your shitty health. Also gives me a chance to get reacclimated to the controls. Oh, you know what does need to change, though? That needs to change.
Ah, yeah. Thruster pack. I mean, that's a very contentious piece of Ratchet lore that is entirely missing in the Tools series.
It's better.
You don't even get the option in the new games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just you get the hover pack. That's all you get. Which is the right pack.
It's not really. I mean, they fixed the hover pack to not... The reason the rocket pack is better is because the double jump takes you higher. The hover pack double jump keeps you at the same height. The thruster pack gives you a little bit of extra height on that jump.
Yeah.
That's what makes it better. And then in the new ones, they fixed it so the hover pack gives you that little bit of extra height. So now the thruster pack isn't by default superior in every way.
So I want to tell you what I liked about the helipack that I don't like about the thruster.
Okay.
So anytime you do a long or a high jump with the rocket pack, it just shoots you straight forward. It doesn't have that arc to it. And when you do the jump into the air with the hover pack, it shoots you straight up. It doesn't have that kind of sine wave in the moving up. And I just like the feel of the helipacks
of it being worse.
better. Yeah.
You like the feel of it being terrible.
Well, it's exactly the same in terms of the speed that you long jump and all that. You don't get around the level faster.
You do.
You just can jump higher.
No, the rocket pack does make you go faster. It's a rocket. How is a rocket not faster than a helicopter blade? Explain that to me,
Then
Mike.
a helicopter?
Helicopter blade.
Rockets aren't as fast as helicopters?
Rockets are faster.
I don't know about that.
It's a rocket.
Yeah, but people fire rockets at helicopters all the time.
Rockets go to the moon, Mike. When was the last time a helicopter went to the moon? Never. Never happened.
Okay. You make a good point.
Yeah. And the moon is far away. You have to be pretty fast to get to the moon.
Your logic is impeccable, Tony. There's nothing I can say. Also, you've already upgraded that weapon.
I know. I'm trying to win.
All right.
Win the game.
Why would you try to do that?
I don't need to upgrade any more weapons to win the game.
All right. We'll chalk that one up to my crappy
That was
health,
up to
though.
your... I was at 30 health the whole time. That was totally you.
So, I don't just want to let you play in silence. A, because it's boring, but also because having you talk will make it harder on you to actually do
Yeah,
this.
you can go ahead and try to distract me.
So, I just wanted to ask you one very important question.
Okay.
Why are you such an asshole?
I'm not an asshole. I'm opinionated.
Opinionated asshole.
No,
Why are you such
hardly.
an opinionated asshole?
That was weird. The screen went black for a second. So much weirdness. I'm not an asshole, Mike. How dare you? How dare you? Oh, do you see that? See that slick move
Which
that I
one?
pulled over there? Jumping between the those bullets, taking no hits. Look at that. Here we go again. Oh, look at that. So sweet. Look at the talent. The talent on display here. Oh, look at that dodging. You couldn't do that.
No.
You could.
you're right.
You would be terrible at that. Oh, look at this. Look at this talent on display.
I'm literally speechless.
I'm like a ninja.
See, all this time I thought that you were just talking out of your ass about how much better you were than me.
I'm so good at this game.
But in reality, it turns out that you're actually kind of a pro. Man, when we play the online game with people, you're going to tear them up.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be humbling. Oh, what is this coming in from off camera? That is cheesiness.
Oh, man, there's so much tension. I can't handle this. This is too much, Tony. Okay, don't miss that jump. Don't miss it. Good
You
job.
know how I was able to get that jump? Rocket pack.
Because a double jump glide with the rocket pack is the same as...
It's not the same. You get extra height.
No, I'm saying it's the same as a long jump with the helicopter.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Not criticizing your rocket pack anymore.
Just saying.
It's okay if you like bad things.
It sounded like you were criticizing the rocket pack.
You have the right to like any stupid bad thing you want.
All I'm saying is you can criticize me all you want, but the rocket pack...
I can criticize you all I want?
You leave me alone. You leave the rocket pack alone.
There are some things that are...
There's...
Oh, so speaking of frame rate problems, this area was a huge fucking frame rate problem. These houses here are Mobies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's not good.
No, it's not good at all. Because they had destruction states.
Yeah.
So, we had this is the only time in any of the games I did frame rate where fill rate was a problem.
Oh, wow.
Because if you walked up really close to one of these things and then set off a bunch of shit, you could crash the game with frame rate. Like you could make it go so far under frame that it would crash. It was crazy.
So what was the fix?
The fix was to turn them into ties. So
and they lose their destructible states?
They bolted all of the Mobies onto them as destructive states.
I see.
So all the Mobies became smaller. I was never sure why giant Mobies would cause that problem, but Brian Hastings always said it was fill rate. Do you know what that means?
Kind of.
It's like I know there's only so many polygons you can have that fill the screen, right?
Right. Well, I mean, if you have a transparent poly like right in front of the camera, then that polygon sort of... You need to take the color and whatever of that polygon and apply it to everything that's behind it. And so there might be something with the way they draw Mobies that it affects anything that's behind them. There's probably a special process on Mobies. Because, Mobies can have windows and stuff.
Right.
And they need to project their color behind them.
Right. Ties weren't allowed to have...
they weren't...
windows that influenced the color, yeah.
So there was probably a special process that allowed them to sort of affect anything that was drawn behind them, and that could probably cause fill rate problems, I suppose.
But I remember that I found that problem and was talking to someone about it, and they were just like, oh man, what are we going to do? We can't just lose these buildings. This is going to be so bad. And then it caused someone a huge amount of headache to fix that. But it was a crash bug. It's not like they could ignore it.
Right.
And just let that one area be out of frame. These corridors are where I always used to level up my shield generator. Because there's little cover pieces you can hide behind and just leave the shield out to get hit by, what's it called? Fire.
I gotcha. Oh, like right here.
Yeah. Oh, there's my box again, the one I spent a couple weeks on.
So if I did this, and then I went down here.
Yeah, and they just shoot those things, and you get experience every time they see your bars filling up.
Very slowly. Shoot them.
Well, you want to see most of them are hitting the floor. You want to put them out where they get hit. So, anyway, that's where I'd do it. I'm not suggesting we do this on camera.
Yeah, I'm not.
That was the best way I found to level up the shield charger or the shield hover shield, hollow shield. That was the best way I found to level up the hollow shield. I'll just cut that in afterwards. No one will ever know.
More guys. Come on, guys.
Well, you're already doing better than I did. You hit the checkpoint.
I know. I'm doing
so that's good.
Really good.
I mean, I'm going to say that you were helped by watching me play through several times.
No.
You knew what to expect.
You can say that, but we all know that's not true.
Well, if we see you fail a lot in this section, we'll know that it's true.
Well, you're not going to see that.
I mean, you are doing very well.
Really
Your health
well.
is almost at maximum.
Pretty good.
And there's probably a health crate coming up that you'll be able to get that will even make it better.
What was I going to use here? That's just... Oh, I don't even do that.
Palindrome bolt score over there.
And I'm on a weird angle. That's, I don't think people know that, but I'm just going to let them know. I'm
sitting right in front of the screen.
I'm sitting at a very weird angle.
He's fine. There's nothing wrong with the way he's sitting. Don't listen to him for a second.
Really weird angle, I gotta say. It's a definite detriment.
But someone as great as you should be able to overcome
Well,
it.
I am overcoming it. So, yeah.
So, in terms of, we were talking about low-level engine features like the fill rate and how transparency actually works. Can you think of anything that any effects that we did in this game that were done in an unusual way that we can talk about?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, we talked about the shadow volume stuff and the way that those all work.
Right.
Hold on, I need something really good here. I don't know what that is. You know what? We're just gonna go with the old standby. I mean, there like the I think this is from Ratchet 2, but I know the mini nuke effect was a lot of work to get the mini nuke getting working properly.
If I remember correctly, Eric had to code it in assembly, in PlayStation Assembly, right?
Probably, yeah. I mean, it was a really expensive effect, and he really wanted it to look really, really nice.
And it does.
It does look really, really nice.
And that was Ratchet 2, right?
I think so, yeah. Man, there's a lot of these guys.
So was this the game where we started getting involved with the Insomniac community? Like, did it just start coming online during this game?
I think the forums started up around this time.
Because I don't know if a lot of you out there know, but Tony and I ran helped run the Insomniac forums. What I meant was we were mods, right? We were administrators. So we did a lot of stuff with the community. That's where Dodger and Mr. Sunshine come from in the first place.
Well, Mr. Sunshine came from Moo.
Moo started calling you Mr. Sunshine?
Moo is the one that called me Mr. Sunshine.
I didn't know
and
that.
I just take a run with it.
Just because?
Because I'm so such a sunny because of my sunny disposition, Mike.
Oh.
I think it was another day where things weren't going well, and I said something, or somebody said something about how I always have such a positive attitude. And Moo was like, "Yeah, you're a regular Mr. Sunshine," and I took it and ran with it.
As well you should, sir. My Dodger came from Oliver Twist.
Ah, gotcha.
A lot
the
of
Artful
people,
Dodger.
A lot of people think it's because I'm a Dodger fan, but that's actually not the case. It's the Artful Dodger, Bit of trivia out there for the 5 of you who are my
Mike's
fans.
Out Trivia.
Yeah.
If you had a Wikipedia, it could go right on there.
I do have a Wikipedia.
Oh, well, then there you go. This is something you can add to Mike's Wikipedia.
I can't add anything,
well,
so you guys have to add it for me.
Right, yeah.
Like, for example, my Wiki page doesn't even know that I worked on Skylanders.
Really?
Yeah. It's way far behind.
Who created your Wikipedia page, and how has it not been deleted? That's my question.
It's irrelevant? Is that what you're... I honestly don't know why it hasn't been deleted. It puzzles me every day. I wake up in the morning and I say to myself, why do I still have a Wikipedia
I just
page?
think it's funny because... I just finished, by the way.
Well played.
But I know that there's a huge... the online UFC community has a huge problem with Wikipedia because Wikipedia thinks individual UFC events aren't noteworthy enough to have their own Wikipedia page. This is a billion-dollar industry, and apparently their pay-per-view events are not notable enough to have their own pages.
Really?
But Mike Dodger Stout, notable enough.
Woo!
More notable than any one UFC event.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So either go on there and help me make it better,
Or mark it for deletion.
Mark it for deletion, apparently, because Tony thinks I don't deserve one.
I didn't say
Tony,
that.
Tony doesn't have a Wikipedia.
I don't
page.
have a Wikipedia page,
And he really should.
I really don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think it's noteworthy
You don't
enough.
think you're noteworthy enough?
No.
For Wikipedia? Tony, I do.
Okay, well that's
You were
nice.
able to beat this level when I
did.
couldn't do it.
Just one shot. Boom.
One shot through the
all
whole
the way.
thing. That's crazy.
No problems.
And all that it took was nothing. Like, you just blew through.
And now we have the coordinates for the final level.
And the Dr. Nefarious fight after it.
After the final level. But here's one little bit of teaser that we actually will follow through on, I think, in our next episode, is that all the this one fight that you've been alluding to for so long.
The one fight that we ever had.
Apparently.
Bitter
the
fight.
one that you claim existed.